New York, the city that never sleeps. But beneath its neon lights and human hustle and bustle lies a hidden world, inhabited by vampires, werewolves, fairies, and sorcerers gathering in secret places. One ordinary night, 15-year-old Clary Fray and her best friend Simon decide to escape their routine and enter Pandemonium, a nightclub promising electronic music and endless fantasy. Until Clary notices something strange in the entrance line, three teenagers slip past security carrying what look like fake weapons, but are actually artifacts for hunting supernatural creatures. Driven by curiosity, Clary follows the group to a warehouse behind the club. There, peering through dusty crates, she witnesses the impossible. Jace Wayland, a feline-eyed shadow hunter, battles an opponent who dissolves into black smoke at the slightest cut from his seraph blade. Terrified, Clary realizes she's just discovered an entire parallel universe, an ancient conflict between light and darkness unfolding right before her eyes, and in that moment, her ordinary life in Brooklyn is transformed forever. The morning after the incident at the warehouse, Clary awakens on a cold white stone bed, wrapped in unfamiliar cloths. She feels a twinge in her wrist and, lifting her arm, notices a black rune-shaped mark, a remnant of Jace Wayland's rescue. Before she can process it, the door opens and Isabel Lightwood enters, her golden whip at her hip, followed by the stern Alec. Clary tries to get up, but it's Hodge, the Clave's tutor, who appears next. "Mundanes die with great ease," he declares, before explaining that Clary was brought there for her own safety. As she meets Hodge's critical gaze, Isabel reveals that demon poison had coursed through her veins, a mortal danger for someone without protective runes. Alec explains almost impatiently that every shadow hunter is born from an ancient pact. The Clave is the council that governs demon slayers, and the Covenant is the treaty that maintains peace between shadow hunters and the creatures of the downworld. Clary, dazed, listens as Hodge discloses that the treaty must be renewed every 15 years, but Valentine Morgenstern, the Clave's former hero, and Jace's father, broke the oath, forming the Renegades and seeking to purify the world through extermination. Then Jace reappears, handing her a luminous cylinder, "Your stele. It's used to hide your aura from demons." With no alternative, Clary accepts the artifact and feels power flowing through her veins. In that moment, she understands there's no turning back. She's been officially invited to join the world of shadow hunters. Without the legendary Mortal Cup, Valentine Morgenstern is free to build an unstoppable army. No one else can drink from his source of power. When rumors spread that the cup was stolen from the Clave's most secure vault, Jace Wayland gathers Isabel, Alec, and Clary for a desperate hunt through the streets of New York. They scour abandoned warehouses on the east side, following trails of runes that glow like embers in the night. Clary, still learning to read sacred symbols, finds a clue in a hidden library. An ancient note points to a scrapyard in the Brooklyn docks. There, in a maze of twisted metal, they face guards corrupted by the Renegades, former shadow hunters lured by the promise of absolute power. In the clash, Alec raises his bow with steady hands, firing enchanted arrows that explode into green light upon hitting the enemies. Isabel, with her golden whip, disarms the traitor's profane blades. But it's Clary who gets the biggest surprise. Jace offers her a silver cylinder, her stele, and slips into her hand a seraph dagger with a hilt studded in the shape of a red rose. "This is the weapon of choice for a true shadow hunter," he says. Clary feels the weight of the blade and the tingling of the rune tattooed on her wrist. She raises the dagger for the first time, and in her gaze burns the determination to defend the Mortal Cup at any cost. From that moment on, it's no longer enough to be a spectator. She becomes an angelic warrior, ready to confront anyone who dares disrupt the balance between the worlds. To unlock the memories that stubbornly escape her mind, Clary is taken to the City of Bones, the sacred ossuary that holds the remains of generations of shadow hunters. Among rows of vertical tombs and marble arches inscribed with runes, Brother Jeremiah places his pale hands on Clary's forehead and chants ancient incantations. A weight of forgotten memories presses on her consciousness, and she feels as if she's being torn apart from the inside out. When Clary faints, she awakens in a hall lit only by blue torches. It is there that Hodge, the Clave's tutor, makes his painful confession. He not only knew Valentine Morgenstern, but helped draft the fanatical oath, the Valentine Cycle, a violent treatise aimed at annihilating all downworld creatures. Even more shocking, he reveals that Jocelyn Fray, Clary's mother, was part of that very cycle. She was Valentine's wife, a partner in dark missions, until she discovered she was pregnant and fled to protect her daughter. Clary feels the ground tremble beneath her feet. The woman she always knew as a peaceful artist was once a ruthless warrior, entangled in the betrayal that nearly shattered the peace between the worlds. Shock mingles with anger and sorrow as Hodge concludes, "Your mother had no choice. Love saved her from the very oath she helped create." In that moment, Clary understands that her blood carries powerful secrets. secrets, and that her destiny is even more deeply intertwined with the conflict between light and darkness. When Clary, Jace, Isabel, and Alex storm the Dark Lobby in search of the Mortal Cup, they don't just find vampires. A portal tears through the wall, and from it emerges Abbadon, the Abyss Demon, with ancient bones protruding beneath its blackened skin and voids for eyes. It growls domineering, "Surrender the Mortal Cup, and I will let you live." Jace strikes first, leaping from the railing onto Abbadon's back, slashing its armored shell with seraph blades. The demon recoils, howling, but its monstrous hands hurl Jace down the stairs, crushing him against the wooden floor. Clary watches in horror as the monster oozes black fluids, while Isabel charges furiously with her golden whip, and Alec tries to drive a dagger into the creature's cracks. Just as Abbadon lifts Jace by the throat, demanding the cup, the door bursts open in a flash. Simon, wielding Alec's bow, fires an arrow that shatters the grime-coated ceiling. Sunlight pours through the opening, bathing the hall in golden rays, and the demon, unable to withstand the angelic radiance, convulses, shrinking until it vanishes into a cloud of ash. Exhausted, they reclaim the cup, a heavy chalice thrumming with ancient power. Jace adjusts his blood-matted hair. Isabel cleans her gleaming whip, and Clary, hands trembling, secures the artifact that could alter everyone's fate. But the mission isn't over. In Rat Alley, Clary chases Hodge to a garbage dump behind a restaurant. Amid torn bags and animal bones, she confronts him without hesitation. "Tell me where Valentine is, or you'll spend the rest of your life imprisoned by the clave," she warns, her firm voice echoing off brick walls. Hodge, visibly terrified, laughs as he admits fearing Valentine more than the clave, confessing he handed the cup to Jace's own father to save his skin. In the end, Clary spares him, knowing this renegade holds the secret to Valentine's whereabouts, and that once again, her family bloodline is entangled in the conflict between light and darkness. When the last spark of the Mortal Cup's power fades into ash, sunlight floods the Institute through shattered windows. But there's no time to celebrate. A portal tears open and Valentine Morgenstern emerges, pale and unyielding, wielding a black sword. With a brutal strike, he pierces Luke's chest, and before anyone can react, drags Jocelyn into the rift between worlds. Jace lunges for them, Clary screams her mother's name, but Valentine vanishes in a flash. With trembling steps, Clary runs, feeling the ground quake beneath her as the portal glimmers, and in a surge of desperation and courage, she leaps into the darkness, determined to save Jocelyn, whose cries still echo in her memory. Outside, Simon kneels beside Luke, his clothes stained with blood. As pain threatens to overwhelm him, Magnus Bane bursts forth in a rainbow of magic, staunching the crimson flow and pulling Luke back from death's edge. Silently, Simon lifts his gaze. His reflection in the portal's shimmering metal reveals vampiric eyes that no longer fear the sun. He has become a daylighter. Meanwhile, Clary lands on her knees in an unfamiliar marble courtyard, her runes blazing against her skin. In the distance, the sound of angel wings sully the night. She rises, heart racing. Her world has expanded, her blood has carried her to the gates of Idris, and the war between light and darkness has only just begun. In the City of Ashes, her true journey continues. And so we wrap up our deep dive into City of Bones, unraveling shadowy alleys, epic battles, and the ancient power of runes. If you enjoyed this adventure, drop a like. It really helps the channel. Tell us in the comments which moment surprised you the most. Was it the first glimpse of Shadowhunters at Pandemonium, the revelation of family secrets, or the showdown with Abbadon? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss next week's video, where we'll explore City of Ashes and uncover how far Clary and Jace will be pulled by the shadows of the past. Share this video with friends who love urban fantasy and tag someone you'd want to see taming underwater bikes and battling even greater demons. Thank you so much for watching. At Sabadoria de Alfred, every story is a gateway to new worlds, and you're our guest of honor. Until next time, remember, the runes are active, the blades are sharp, and the darkness never sleeps. Bye.